Nebraska just demolished Rutgers 80-68 on the road, snapping a 2-game skid with pure dominance. Rienk Mast exploded for 26 points, looking like his all Big Ten self again. This win sets a program record for Big Ten road victories and keeps the Huskers right there in Big Ten title contention. Let me know your comments on whether you think Nebraska has what it takes to still win the Big Ten this season. They're just a game out. I like this squad a lot. And if you do too, like and subscribe. Nebraska sitting at number 9 nationally, and they're my sleeper pick on FanDuel odds to win the national championship with the 10th best odds on FanDuel at plus 2,500. At least that's after the game. Who knows? Things might switch up a little bit now, but that's where it's at. They've been slept on all year. They're 21-2, 10-2 in the conference. This bounce back game was badly needed after tough losses to top 5 teams, Michigan and Illinois. Well, formerly Illinois, they just lost to Michigan State, so we'll see what they're ranked after this. But those defeats came at terrible times with Mast coming back from the flu and the team was not entirely healthy. Those games did expose some vulnerabilities, right? Yes, go through some shooting slumps, getting out muscled a little bit on the boards and the shooting free throw disparity. They were out attempted 49-9 combined. But against Rutgers, the Huskers flipped the script entirely, showcasing how good this team is at full strength. It's the maturity, it's the experience that make them a legitimate national title contender coming out of this loaded conference. First and foremost, Rienk Mast Resurgence was the headline, coming off an illness that sidelined him against Michigan and left him rusty versus Illinois, where he shot just 2 for 10 and didn't score until the final minute. Mast looked reborn in Piscataway. He set the tone in the opening minutes, drawing a 10-footer, followed by a deep 3 that had his teammates buzzing. From there, it was vintage Mast, all right? Efficient, versatile, unstoppable inside. He finished 11 of 20 overall, but the real story was his 10 of 16 on 2-point shots. That's right, 16 attempts, including a stretch of 3 consecutive sky hooks in the second half that slammed the door on Rutgers' comeback attempt. Those hooks came when the Scarlet Knights cut a 20-point lead to 13, and Mast responded by scoring 11 of Nebraska's final 19 points over the last about 9.5 minutes in that game. His plus minus was plus 16. It led the team, and he grabbed 8 rebounds to boot. What I love about Mast's performance is how it adapted to the matchup. Rutgers, they went small, which helped them offensively, but it left them vulnerable in the paint. So what does Nebraska do? They exploited that. They got a 36-24 edge and points down low in the paint, and Mast was the centerpiece. You can tell Mast is slowing down and being more deliberate with his post moves. It's an excellent thing about what you're seeing in him right now and what he's able to do. And it's what we have come to expect from this Nebraska team. Something goes wrong, you fix it. Something doesn't happen your way, you stay calm, you make it better. Smart basketball. Mast has been in a shooting funk a little bit, missing 27 of his last 33 threes entering into this game, but he only attempted 4 from deep here, hitting 1 early to boost his confidence before dominating inside. For a guy on the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Center of the Year midseason list, this was a reminder of why he's Nebraska's engine. If the Huskers want to make a deep run in March, Mast at this level is a non-negotiable. This has to happen. They have to be getting this from Rienk Mast in order to do that. But this wasn't a one-man show. Far from it. You know, this is a Nebraska team that is filled with players who can make things happen. Jamarcus Lawrence being one of them. He had a storybook homecoming. He's a native of New Jersey, the senior guard who won a state title in this very arena that they played in back in high school, delivered 12 points, tied his career high with 7 assists, which I'm sure many of his friends and family were in attendance to be able to see. It's a huge thing for him. Lawrence had to be feeling some pressure, but he channeled it perfectly. He drew a team high 5 fouls, went 4 for 4 from the line, and helped Nebraska flip the free throw narrative after those recent debacles. The Huskers attempted 12 free throws. And although it might not seem like much, to some teams out there, it was a good development for this team. Lawrence's poise and distribution was key to Nebraska's crisp ball movement. 19 assists on 30 made baskets with only 6 turnovers. That's elite efficiency in the Big Ten, where possessions are like gold, right? Then there's Sam Hoiberg, all right, who continues to prove he's one of the most underrated guards in the conference. Look, if you want to figure out who out there is a casual, just ask them their opinion on Sam Hoiberg. If they overlook him, they're casual, because even with great numbers, they don't tell the whole story. All right, 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting. That's good. 3 for 4 from 3. All right, that's pretty good. 7 rebounds. Okay, that's good. Even better. 5 assists, 4 steals in 34 minutes of play. That's great. That's great. Sam Hoiberg. I love watching this kid play. I love how well he does. He tied his career high for threes and has now scored in double figures for 7 straight games. Defensively, Hoiberg was everywhere. Active hands leading to deflections that fueled Nebraska's 15-7 edge on points off turnovers. Rutgers coughed it up 15 times, and Hoiberg's 4 steals were big part of that. His turnover ratio leads the team. If there was like an effort ratio to smart, play ratio or anything out there, he might lead the nation in that too. But his all-around stat line, 13, 7, 5, and 4 screams not just glue guy, but star in Lincoln. That's right. To me, Sam Hoiberg, he's a star player in Lincoln. He's not just a glue guy. He's not just a guy that can get it done. He gets it all done, right? Hoiberg's early layups and timely threes, like the one that pushed the lead 56-37 early in the second half, kept the momentum rolling. And we can't forget Price Sanford. He chipped in 15 points as well, shaking off a slow first half, 1 for 6 from 3. He heated up after the break with multiple triples. 8 of his points came in the second half, helping Nebraska build that 20-point cushion. Even role players like Cale Jacobson made impacts with deflections in the first half, stretching the lead during a crucial 10-minute stretch. That Hoiberg called their best basketball of the day, right? And Braden Frager, despite rough shooting night for him, but that's okay. You can have that happen when you have other guys out there like these guys contributing. He contributed to the interior presence that allowed Nebraska to shoot 21 of 37 on 2s overall, so that's excellent. And defensively, this was a masterclass in physicality by Nebraska, a direct response to what Illinois did to them. And props to Hoiberg for it. Look, Hoiberg complained about some holding after the Illinois game. And typically when I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to roast this guy for it. But I said, you know what? Instead of let's see what happens, because instead of blaming the refs, he ramped up practice and intensity, telling the scout team to be as rough as possible, especially on the glass. The results speak for themselves. Nebraska held their own on the boards, 33 of 34 total, 33 to 34 total, 8-8 offensively, drew 15 fouls, swiped 10 steals, and limited Rutgers to just 8 rim attempts. They converted those 15 turnovers into 15 points while allowing Rutgers more shots than ideal. That's fine, but the Scarlet Knights never truly threatened after halftime. The home crowd at Jersey Mike's Arena, the rack, right, they never factored in, which is huge against a team that's taken Michigan State to overtime and hung tough with USC and Iowa recently. This win's historical context can't be overstated. Nebraska's 6th Big Ten road victory breaks a program record set way back in the 1960s and even earlier. With 3 road games left, they could absolutely shatter it moving forward. At 10-2, they're a game ahead of Purdue in the standings, setting a massive Tuesday clash at Pinnacle Bank Arena against the preseason favorite, the Purdue Boilermakers, right? No, not the Purdue Boilermakers. That's the game I'm talking about next. Who are they facing next here? Never mind. It is Purdue. Apparently, it's getting too late, and I need to go ahead and finish things up. So we're going to finish things up with Purdue and what they have right after this.